all right. That's fine. Do this. And I think we are live.
Sure, I just I did.
Oh, that's okay. Can you get to my profile? You can get to my profile. Hi, everyone. As you can see, we're talking pets. We'll be with you shortly. Oops. We gotta go here.
There we go. Okay, here we go.
All right. I'm going to share this to Patrick Now Photography. And then, oh, yep. And there you go. We're all set.
Thank you.
Hey, and welcome to Around Town TV. I think I have you all. Yep, we do. We have it all set here. I want to welcome you. My name is Carla Berline. We've been featuring Minnesota's best kept secrets and businesses since 2003, known as Minnesota's lifestyle and business experts. I am so excited to be bringing the show to you live this evening from Patrick Now, right? I said that right?
You did.
Now Photography. And we're going to learn a little bit more about Patrick himself, a few of the projects that he's got going on that are pretty cool and exciting, and learn just how, I mean, a lot of us love pets. We all love pets and food. But imagine photographing multiple pets. We're going to learn a little bit more about some of his tricks of the trade and some of his history. But Patrick, thank you for being on the show.
It's my pleasure, Carla. Thank you for being here.
Oh, gosh, it's so fun to be here. One of the things that I wanted to ask you is a little bit about your history and background and what inspired you to go into this industry.
Oh, sure. I've been in business now. This is my 38th year in business. I've had a studio for most of those years. I was in a popular spot for 26 years at 48th in Chicago. A lot of people know the restaurant Pepito's, which was a landmark there.
Yes.
And I was on there, had a storefront studio for all those years. But with changing things and the rent, kept going up. And after 26 years, I can't do this amount of rent. I love my studio, but I need to find a little less expensive place. I don't need a storefront anymore. I just need a nice space because I'm a destination versus a storefront. And I moved here to Richfield. It'll be 2 years in September. And it works out really well. My costs went down 40%, which was important. And even though it's a smaller space and so on, the critical thing, two critical things is the quality of my work did not suffer. It still is the same.
Right. Still the same equipment.
Yeah. And I also have a side entrance for people with their dogs so they don't have to meander through the building. That was absolutely critical. So safe and sound, nobody out, right there. So the two things, and it's worked out really well. I really like being here in Richfield.
Well, and I know you're currently, for those of you who are like, I know that name, I've seen that name, Carla, I think even you're correct. Patrick Now is kind enough to donate the grand prize winner to the Al's Vacuum Cutest Pet Contest that runs all through June. It ends on June 30th. And we are really excited. A lot of you we've had such a wide variety of pets, mostly cats and dogs.
Oh, absolutely.
But a few birds, a few rabbits, some really, I'd never heard of one of them. It looked like a lizard of some sort.
Okay, sure.
It was cute, actually.
Sure.
I mean, we thank you for that. But what you get as the grand prize winner is a portrait session with Patrick Now and a 16 by 20 portrait.
Yeah, wall portrait.
Yes.
People can be in the portraits. A session can include the pets, the family, kids with their pet. We do a ton of poses, and then we take a short break and then load them on the computer. And then on the other side of my studio here, I have a movie screen, and then we turn down all the lights and do a slideshow on the movie screen and narrow them down to the favorites and pick the winning pose. And then I talk to Dave at Al's, and if they have space and are amenable, I'd like to supply the a duplicate winning portrait to go on display there to say the prize winner.
That would be wonderful.
So and then Al's Vacuum can share the pictures and all that. Absolutely, I was just blown away. I had never been in Al's Vacuum. When I went in there, I thought, wow, this is the coolest. I've never seen a vacuum store like that. I thought, this is incredible.
Oh, well, and recently the Star Tribune noted it as the Nordstrom of vacuums.
That's what he said.
Yes.
I said, well, it's obvious. This is an amazing place.
But that shouldn't be a deterrent because they have used vacuums.
No,
yeah.
that's
right.
excellent.
They have all price points, but the service and the quality of what you're getting. In fact, many times, and they've been featured on my show for years, and I've been working with them since 2013. And many times when I've been in the store, people will come in with a 20-year-old plus
sure.
vacuum because they're able to fix it. And if you service it and you take care of it and you buy a good quality one, you get what you pay for.
Absolutely.
And you can trade them in. In fact, we've got 2 newer ones, but we bought them for a gal that helps my mom. A lot of people know my parents struggle with health issues, so we bought them based on what the cleaning gal wanted. Well, now that we're cleaning ourselves, they're very hard on my parents, so we're going to go trade those 2 in for 2 stand-upright Riccar, signature Riccar vacuums. And we're so excited because those are easier for all 3 of us to manage.
Well, I'm certainly proud to be associated with Al's Vacuum. I
Oh.
really am. I'm looking forward to doing the session, and when they draw the winner, I'll certainly publicize that, and then I'll show off the winning images on my Facebook, of course, and
Right.
tag Al's.
I
And
think
then
we
the
might
nice.
need you to help us
And,
pick the winner. Yeah.
Oh, I can be the judge. Can I be the? I'd love to be the judge, or one of the
absolutely.
judges.
You know, a real photographer.
Oh,
So yes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'd be
Yeah.
proud to be that. Yeah.
Well,
absolutely.
and Around Town TV is very proud to feature you yourself, Patrick, on the show, as well as Al's Vacuum. And we're just so proud that you were so generous in donating that, because for those of you who don't know, he is a real photographer, and there is a huge difference. We were talking about that off camera, and you know, why don't you explain a little bit about that and what got you into the business? That story is great.
I did my first wedding in 1978 while I was still in the Votech school, and officially started in business in 1980, and then I had my out of my home, and then I had my first studio in 1984 in South Minneapolis, at a location in South Minneapolis, like I said. And then in 1989, I had the good fortune to discover a studio that was by Pepito, or a business that was a video business was going out of business, and it was by Pepito's. Well, Pepito's certainly was a landmark for many years, and at that time, extraordinary landmark. People all over knew about Pepito's. I said, I want to be there. So I moved in there in '89. Like I said, was there for 26 years. It was just great. And so how I got into pet photography was actually in the year 2005. The digital explosion started coming in the year 2000. Up to the year 2000, weddings were half my business. I do, between 35 and 40 weddings a year. And so everybody with a digital camera thought they were photographers, started doing weddings. My weddings went down. In the 90s, I photographed hundreds of kids, and that all changed. And so in the year 2005, I was wondering, what am I going to do here? How am I going to keep going in that? And then a serendipitous moment, which I will never forget, in April of 2005, a magazine called Studio Photography and Design, which I read religiously from cover to cover.
Mm-hmm.
And my issue came, and I was reading it, and they did a story about a pet photographer. And normally there's stories on family portraits and children's portraits and high school seniors. They were all good. They were all good images and nice story. Well, this was a story of a pet photographer out in California, and guess what? What images were shockingly bad. Shockingly bad. I could, to this day, I can feel, And I said to myself, I could do better than this.
Yeah.
But guess what? I can't do it right away because I wasn't a pet photographer. The dogs I photographed, I did a promotion for years, what I call portraits in the park, and most people brought their dogs. But that was easy because a family sitting with their dog, the dog's comfortable, easy. All I had to do was bark or squeak or whatever, and I always got nice images. But dogs alone,
Right.
I didn't know about that. So my good friend Joyce DeSark, who owns the Minnehaha Animal Clinic right across from my old studio, I showed her that magazine, and she was, oh yeah. I said, Joyce, I want to practice. I want to learn this. Can I practice on your employees with their pet or pets? And I will give them a free one, and then on your wall we'll put them up there.
Awesome.
Okay? And to this day,
Yeah.
I've done many, many portraits for her because of the turnover of our staff over these last many years. So I got to practice on them. So it took 6 months for all 18 of them to come in. But I have to tell you the story of the first one. Because back then I really wasn't a pet guy.
Right. You're learning.
Dogs were like, okay,
But
yeah.
but you are a real photographer. You
Oh.
are very good.
Oh, now
Yeah.
I am the dog guy.
Yeah,
That's one of
yes.
my little monikers,
He
so to
is
speak.
the dog guy.
So my friend, before her first employee came in with her dog, I met with her and she gave me a list. She said, the dogs are sentient beings, they have feelings, and she gave me a list of things. And then the first employee came with the dog, I couldn't find the list. So I rushed through the session, the dog was nervous, and I did, ears pinned back. And then after the session, we walked out to the lobby and chatted for a bit. And then the woman looked and screamed, and she went, "Oh no!" And then we looked over, and the dog was taking a dump right in the middle of my lobby. And she was so mortified. And I said, no, that's a fitting response. I don't blame your dog one bit. But anyway, not long after that, I found the list. And to this day, I can't remember anything else on it. But one thing which I use to this very day, which I did use today with the mother and her daughter with the 3 dogs that I photographed for them, it said, let the dog sniff around your studio and get comfortable. Don't rush it. And like I say, to this very day, I let dogs, first thing they do, let them off the leash, let them sniff around, and boy, it's...
And there's a lot of dog smells after
there's
all
dog
these
smells
years.
everywhere. Some of them are like, what do you do? Up in the chair. Anyway, and it also gave rise to my twofold philosophy, which is, A, I have endless patience, which I truly do, and B, nothing's ever a problem. We had 2 little accidents, number 1, from the 2 dogs today.
Yep.
Not a problem. I have paper towels, I have cleaners, we just clean it up and done nothing, like nothing happened. So it's the best thing that ever happened to me in my 37 years to become a pet photographer. And one thing I will say from the bottom of my heart, pet people are the nicest people.
You said that when we first were introduced, and you are so right on. I'm going to jump in. If you're just tuning in, we have a lot of people that have been coming in and out. My name is Carla Berline from Around Town TV, and I'm really excited to be here with Patrick Now Photography. He is generously donated the grand prize to the Al's Vacuum Cutest Pet Contest, but we're right now learning a little bit about how he got into the industry, and we're also going to hear about another project he's working on with Can Do Canines. One of the coolest things, I know you were just saying patience. Patience is a big, big thing.
You could not fake this. And see, I don't photograph I don't photograph newborns or things like that, because that's not my thing. I first of all, I never would ask any mother to do that, because I couldn't do a good job for them, because that's not my thing. Right. And I wouldn't have it. But I have it with dogs, and it's
dogs
deep in
know
my
good
soul.
people, though. They do.
You.
Dogs know. They say dogs and kids know. But you said that at first dogs weren't your thing, and then all of a sudden...
All of a sudden it blossomed. I didn't know that. It's like, this is just the greatest. I absolutely love the work that I do. I love my style. People often think, which is the highest praise I could possibly ask for, they'll point to an image of mine and say, that looks like a painting. Yeah. I say, well, thank you. I couldn't ask for higher praise, because I do classic portraits. There are other photographers that go out to the house and dogs jumping up and down, do this and that. That's fine. Let them do that. That's their style.
But we're talking the kind that you could put anywhere in your home.
Absolutely.
Formal dining room even,
the
living
kind
room.
that people will treasure for years. Absolutely.
Ever.
And my tagline is, and I like to say, I really don't, any of you that are not... My tagline is, don't say I wish I had, say I'm glad I did. Because you know what, when you say I wish I had, it's too late.
Right.
It's too late.
And just like people, they don't live forever.
No, and sometimes...
Well, and you were right. You said, you've noticed that pet people are like some of the best people to work with.
Absolutely.
So how cool for you. You get to work with pets, do an amazing job, and we're going to talk about your work. And then you're working,
it's really been
what a blessing.
It really is a blessing.
Yeah.
It's the most enjoyable of all the work I've done in all my years. I just absolutely love it.
If you have questions or you've actually worked with Patrick, feel free to share your experiences, or please, ask comments, or you can private message us. Either one of us will get back to you. I will share it with Patrick if you private message me as well. It's worth inquiring. In fact, this morning you were at a BNI group, right?
Absolutely.
And one of my dearest friends, you all know, Tammy Block, who is a consultant and an attorney, she texts me, "Hey, I didn't know you knew Patrick. I'm with him right now."
I'm going to be doing Tammy's dogs.
Yes,
she signed up through the Can Do Canines promotion.
And Tammy only does things that's a testament right there to you, because she only does things that she thinks are worth it and with good people. So that's a huge kudos to you. Let's talk about some of your work.
All right.
Yeah.
I like to... So, This portrait here is this was in the fairly beginning stage of my my second part of my photography career as becoming a pet photographer. And I had a partnership. I had the good fortune to have a partnership with Chuck and Don's Pet Food Outlet for 10 years, and I had a thing called Friends of the Quarter, and they would win a portrait session, just like for Al's, they would win a this size, and then the store would get one. Well, this couple came from the Montemita store, and they brought their 8 dogs. And so I knew they were coming. I was in my lobby, and
8 dogs.
8 dogs. So from in a 30-second space, it was me, and then he come in with the 4 bulldogs. The door kind of blew open, like that, and then she come in with the other 4, and all of a sudden there was 11 of us in there. And I had 2 reactions. The first one was I could sit down and cry, and the second one was, this is not going to be easy.
No.
But the third reaction, I said to myself, Pat, you are a pro. You're going to make this happen. You can do it.
Right.
And
you did.
The session was wild and crazy as you could possibly imagine, but that doesn't matter. None of that matters. Only the results matter. And after I did this, I thought to myself, I think I can do just about anything. It really gave me the confidence. So I've always really liked this portrait.
Wait, pull that up once. One thing I want you all to notice, if you can see that right now, is these are sincere and genuine. I'm going to go to a tighter shot. Sincere and genuine smiles, and all these dogs are genuinely smiling. This one with his mouth closed. But
what I really like about it is it looks like we had all day to make this one picture, and they just were waiting patiently. And again, because we don't care the external stuff that's not in the portrait as far as the the activity. What it doesn't matter, only the results. And yeah, I to this day really that one was the key to give me that confidence, which I like to think I have to this very day.
That's awesome.
This one I really love because this little one's cross-eyed, and he or she is thinking, I hope those 2 don't step on me.
Right. I'm going to do a tighter shot.
These are 2 white German Shepherds.
Yeah.
And with white dogs, or even a white cat, I like to use a rich dark background because they stand out. Now, if this was 2 black dogs and a black cat, the background would be way lighter. Because we have to have separation. So I
love the cat, just its expression.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's great.
This puppies, I love the puppies, the 3 Yorkie puppies.
Can you leave it up there? I think
oh,
it'd be
sure,
a better
absolutely.
shot. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I think it'll just, yeah. Okay,
Okay.
there we go. Okay, I got you in what needs to be, and just tip it forward a little bit. There we go. And then you can bring it down after. But that way, I just wanted people to see it. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, the 3 Yorkies. Now, when people ask me, how did you do that? How did you get those 3 to say sit perfectly and look perfectly and so on? If I want to be a wise guy, I say, well, I'm the dog guy. This is it's what I do.
It's what I do. I'm good at it.
But the truth
now you can
is,
bring it down.
the
Yep.
truth is, there's a wrangler, there's a helper. Mom and Dad are on each side helping me because I
okay.
honestly couldn't do. I have all my tricks, which we'll look at later.
Right.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you that.
But I make sounds. I do all, which we'll talk about later. But yeah, and then
great.
these 3 ones, I find these 3 just fun to look at.
You can bring that to your lap because I've got a shot for you now.
Kind of comical in a fun way. Just
look
they're
at them.
just so precious and just
and they're so happy. Oh my
so
gosh.
amongst other things, like I say, we'll go through my noisemakers and things. But I always ask the owners. I say, are there any magic words? I call them magic words: treat, car, park, somebody's name, whatever.
Right.
Because we're looking for reaction. And oftentimes there is, oh yeah, say this or say that or say get in the car or
Go for a car ride.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
My dog would be Greenie.
Yeah, there you go, exactly. But sometimes if we say want to go, they'll want to go right to the door. So no, we won't use that word. We'll use something else.
Oh my gosh, beautiful work.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
This one again, I do portraits outside with dogs. Not as often, just because the truth be told is dogs that see the squirrels, and we don't want a dog ever to take off after squirrels. So if there's any temptation, we would have them hold on to the leash and just hide it. So I have a real nice park just a mile and a half from here that I've used for many years.
Oh, wonderful.
With individuals, I like to show the connection, you know, just a loving hug.
Cute. Oh, look at that.
Just a loving hug.
Oh, you can tell they both love each other. Yeah.
This one is one of my favorites in the sense of this, just how well everybody's posed. Now, the truth here is, this woman is a dog trainer.
Oh.
So that made it a little easier because she could put those dogs and they would stay. But we balanced it out nicely and everybody's looking.
That's cute.
I love to do the families with their dogs.
Look at that.
So we got grandma, actually a 3-generation family portrait here, and then we've got the dogs and the cats. So my philosophy in a portrait where there's multiple people and multiple animals is everybody needs to look good. Not just all of them except, oh shoot, the cat is looking this way or that way. So yeah, absolutely we'll do, you know, whatever it takes to get everybody to be looking at the camera, and then the people to be smiling, and yeah, absolutely.
Wonderful.
Here's a reaction. Oops. I love this portrait because it's what I call a reaction portrait.
Oh.
Split seconds.
Right.
Got to be ready for split seconds because guess what? The
gosh.
split seconds probably won't happen again.
No.
And
no,
so,
look at that.
and
That
this
was
works
so
nice too because she has the lighter clothes and the
Right.
lighter background with the rich brown of her. Certainly looks like a chocolate lab, but anyway, a chocolate color, and just the peak. I love that capture that split second.
Oh, such great work. Oh my gosh. And these animals.
Here,
Look at that. Oh.
here.
Oh my gosh. That's great.
mixed
people.
birds. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've done people with the birds, and yeah, it's fun to do. I must say, I love the challenges. I love whatever people, however many animals they have, whatever. I'd never want anybody to say, "Oh, I don't think you could photograph my dog. It would never sit still." Well, then I will show them images
Yes.
like the 3 or the 4 or dogs and say, "Do you think these sat still?" Yeah, they sat. I'll tell them they sat still for the pictures. That's all that counts. We don't care about between the pictures if they jump off the table or they're doing this or doing that. No, it doesn't. That's my job to
Right.
get the images. So
we had one of our viewers wrote, great gifts, yes, and great pictures for holiday and Christmas cards. And so now's the time to do that, to be prepared, and obviously through the holidays. But someone else wrote, his work speaks for itself. Wonderful, beautiful family picture on the easel. I agree, Lee. And
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So and hi, Robert. And
see, a part of it is body language and posing and grouping and all that goes into the portrait. You know, and I do family portraits without animals. Saturday I had a family of 10 in, and we did the family of 10 and then the different groupings and so on, and grandparents with the grandkids and so on. But I might, certainly on a portrait of extended family without dogs, even with dogs, I might take 5 minutes or so to set everybody up just right, because you know what? It's better to spend 5 minutes and then get the portrait that they're going to love for years, instead of not taking the time and somebody say, well, why did you have my elbow up this way, or why was I leaning this way, or why didn't you tell me my chin was up in the air, all that, which is a job of, you know, of a professional with 37 years experience.
it's funny, as you were saying that, I hit the wrong button. We got like an elbow or...
Oh, okay.
So, but I got us back. Okay. Anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. So that's part of what you pay for is the, see, we're all use the same kind of paper. We're not paying for the paper. We're paying for the emotional content of
Right.
the image,
The
that and the experience, that every time we look at that image, we feel good.
Right.
We feel good. And then
So how do you get them? I know you have a lot of tricks. You've
oh
got some
yes,
toys
thank
here.
you.
Yeah, right.
I could not do this without these various things. We got
treats.
squeaky, we got, and I'll play either different tones depending on what the dogs are
hilarious.
doing. We already did this one. Okay, I call this guy Goosey. Okay, and then with the right timing. Okay, some dogs don't like the whistle. Some really, really look great. So, oops.
Oh,
okay,
yeah,
that'll
like-
get not like that. Yeah, you
yeah.
can only do it a couple times and it'll lose its focus. You know,
Right,
then it's
right.
then it's
And
whole
I'm
hat.
sure with their ears.
Yeah,
too,
yeah, the ears. Because when dogs, now some dogs, the soft ear dogs don't necessarily go up much, but most dogs, I always say, if the dog's ears aren't up,
Right.
it's like taking a baby's portrait that's not smiling.
Right, or
It's
crying.
yeah, it's the same deal. You got to get those ears up.
Right.
That's part of the, you know,
Right.
so.
And
yeah.
what dog doesn't
Oh,
like a treat?
Yeah, so I give treats, but
Yeah.
then we also make the sound of the treat. Oh yeah, I go. Everybody knows what this sounds like.
Right.
You know.
Well, and they say, you know, some people say, oh, dogs aren't very bright. Yeah, right. Have 3 treats in your
Oh yeah,
pocket.
and give 2.
Yeah, give
that's
2.
a great one.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Yes.
a great one.
Yeah, I know. I totally agree. Hi to everyone who has tuned in. We've had a really good group of people tuning in and watching in and out. If you are, though, my name is Carla Berlin, and I'm here with Patrick Now Photography. He does fine portraits with, you know, both with humans and pets alone or with your human. We're learning a little bit about his history and background. For those of you who've seen his name quite a bit lately, he has been so generous to donate the grand prize to the Al's Vacuum Cutest Pet Contest, which runs all through June. If you would like to enter, you can go to the Al's Vacuum Facebook page, and all of the details are at the top. You can either tag it in a post there, and it tells you what info we need from your email to your pet's name and breed, or you can private message us, or you can email us, and all of that is right there. So please feel free. It's been fun. They say people love pets and dogs, or pets and food, so we've really had a great success with this, but we're learning a little bit more.
Yeah, and then the Can Do Canines
Yes,
promotion.
I wanted to get into that.
Thank you.
Yes.
So I've known about charitable promotion for a long time, and I decided I want to do that. The idea of a charitable promotion is everybody wins, okay? And when I decided I wanted to do it for charity, the first one that came to mind was Can Do Canines. I've known about them for years. I've toured their place. I know the director. I know their mission. I've seen their incredible video, what they do with service dogs. It's just extraordinary. And I thought, I want to do it for them. So I called Al. Al Peters is the director, and I had a chat with him. And then I said, here's how it works. And Al, the idea, everybody wins. So Can Do Canine wins because our goal is to do 40, to raise 4,000. We're about halfway there right now.
Awesome.
And the important thing is that payment goes right to, it's not me into them, it's right to them, and then that's the reservation. Then they send me a note that who signed up and so on. I did, you know, we just started this on the 1st. I did my first one today.
Awesome.
And like the mother and her daughter came with the 3 dogs, and of
Oh.
course the first thing we let them sniff around. But anyway, they were both the Wranglers, and we've got real nice images. We took the dogs together, separately, all kinds of different combinations. It was just great.
Awesome.
And so they win. They get they instead of $200, it's $100, and they got the portrait session and an 8x10 custom 8x10 in a nice frame. And then, to be honest, I made nice images that they couldn't resist. I took, like I say, the dogs together. Separate on different settings, and then I had them all. I have a red chair over there. I had the 3 dogs. We had them squished together in the coolest thing. And the two bigger. There's they've got their heads together, and the little one is down here like this. It's just a fun, really cute shot, along with the more traditional ones and so on. And then, yes, I was able to make additional sale, but nobody is obligated. And another philosophy I have, which I like to tell my clients, is my job is to make it as hard as possible for you to decide.
And you've done that.
What I mean by that is, how are you going to resist these images?
Right.
If you can and just pick the one you have coming,
Right.
once you sign up. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. I said, well, yeah, you're stronger than I am because these are anyway.
Right.
So the idea everybody wins, and I
Right.
just absolutely love doing it, and it goes to an absolutely great cause.
Great. Can Do Canines is a phenomenal cause. I've many years ago, I think it was 2007 or 8, I was a martini shaker, celebrity shaker for one of their charities, at one of their galas, and another one, it was December 5th of 2015. I actually I'm not a model, but they had us and dogs do a fashion show, holiday fashion show. And I'm not a runway model, but I loved my dog, and I was able to help them make money. And I was around some
Absolutely.
really professional. Richard Moody ran that, and it was just a blast. And we for a good cause, like you said, and
An amazing